The next topic, it will be, of course, I was telling you before also that we have generated the recombinant DNA. We need to incorporate this recombinant DNA into the host so that it can replicate along with the host replication. But the first step here is the selection of a competent host, a good host, which is readily taking up the recombinant DNA and is multiplying. Plus, there are some certain preparations that need to be done in the host so that it can easily incorporate the DNA. So, in this subheading, we will be discussing about all those things. So, the first thing here is a prokaryotic host. Two kinds of host cells can be used, the prokaryotic host and a eukaryotic host. In the prokaryotic host, we are using E. coli, Escherichia coli and Bacillus subtilis. These both are prokaryotic hosts. Most commonly, we are using E. coli. Most commonly, we are using E. coli. E. coli is the best prokaryotic host for carrying the recombinant DNA. Clear? Similarly, we have eukaryotic hosts also. These eukaryotic hosts can be any eukaryotic cell like an animal cell or a plant cell or a fungi cell. So, these can be easily used as an eukaryotic host, but the most preferred one is a fungi. The fungi cell is the most preferred eukaryotic cell and the most preferred prokaryotic cell is Escherichia coli. Okay. Now, can you see any difference here in the structure? Of course, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cells will be having, prokaryotic will not be having a nuclear membrane present, whereas the eukaryotic cells will be having a nuclear membrane. Plus, when we talk about the preparation of the host for making it competent enough to incorporate the DNA, we need to prepare the host in certain ways. Like, the first way, the cell wall has to be removed. Now, why this is so? The cell wall has to be removed. If you remember, the cell without a cell wall is called a protoplast. So, protoplast has to be prepared. If we see, if we go back to this slide, the prokaryotic cells, the E. coli bacteria cell may have, yes, of course it will have a cell wall. The animal cell here will not have a cell wall. Plant cell and fungi cell will have cell walls. So, although E. coli and fungi are very potent hosts, but they have this limitation of possessing a cell wall. Although animal cell is not having a cell wall, so it can be easily used for incorporation as a host. This preparation is not needed. This removal of cell wall is not needed here because animal cell do not have a cell wall. But for the hosts, maybe E. coli, the bacteria or the plant cell or the fungus cell which possess these cell walls, the first thing we have to do is to remove the cell wall and prepare the protoplast. Why this is so? Because cell wall is very rigid. It will not allow the delicate biomolecule like DNA to enter it. So, what we need is to remove the cell wall by dissolving it using enzymes and then just prepare the protoplast for receiving the recombinant DNA. Okay, so this preparation is a must. Then there are certain different problems which are posed by the plasma membrane also. You all know, it has been taught in class 11 that plasma membrane is a lipid and protein layer. Yes, so when it is a lipid and protein layer, it is having hydrophobic ends, of course. So these hydrophobic ends are not allowing the DNA to enter. Are you understanding why this will happen? Because DNA is a negatively charged entity. So when the hydrophobic ends of the plasma membrane are coming in contact with the DNA which is negatively charged, there is a repulsion and the DNA cannot enter. Clear? So our aim remains unfulfilled. So for that, what we have to do, we have to treat the cell with a bivalent ion like calcium 2 plus, Ca2 plus. Why this is so? Because this calcium 2 plus ions increase the permeability of the membranes towards the charged ions, towards the negatively charged ions like DNA. Clear? So what we are actually doing, we are treating the cell with a bivalent ion, for example calcium 2 plus, and this calcium 2 plus will go and affect the hydrophobicity and will decrease the hydrophobic nature of the cell membrane, and then it will allow the DNA, which is a negatively charged entity, to pass through the hydrophobic plasma membrane. Clear? So then what will happen? We will finally get a cell which has the DNA incorporated into itself. Okay? But this will not happen. Till this stage, what has happened? The cell wall has been removed. Protoplast is ready. Protoplast is being affected with the DNA. It is repelling because again the plasma membrane is portraying a barrier over here because it is having hydrophobic end, so it will not allow the negatively charged DNA to enter. So what we have done, second step, we have treated the plasma membrane with bivalent ion, which decreases the hydrophobic nature and allows the entrance of negatively charged DNA into the cell. Now what has happened? The DNA has entered the cell, but still it has to be incorporated into the host DNA. So it has to go inside the nucleus and attach to the host DNA. Then only our host will be loaded. Clear? Host will be carrying the recombinant DNA. So the third step will be shock treatment. Here what will happen? We have prepared the host. We have preparing of the host will end with the treatment of the bivalent ion. Now the host is ready. Cell wall is removed. Cell membrane has been made ready by adding calcium ions. Now it is ready, but still the fusion is left over. The fusion will take place in the third step. That is what we are doing. We are giving shock treatment. How the shock is being given? Shock, you also must have sometimes I don't know, maybe have experienced current, a shock, electric shock. What happens? There is a normal body function. Whenever there is a divergence from the normal conditions of the body, we call it a state of shock. So same kind of shock we are providing to the cell also. So what kind of shock? Heat shock. We are keeping the cells in ice for some time and then quickly putting it again to a heated temperature, that is around 42 degrees centigrade. You need to remember this, 42 degrees centigrade. Keeping the same cell which we have kept at inside a beaker having ice and transferring it to a beaker having hot water at 42 degrees centigrade, then again moving it back to the ice and again moving it back to the hot water. So doing 3-4 times, repeating this whole process of shifting from one temperature to another temperature gives a shock treatment to the host. And due to this shock, what happens? The cell becomes confused and it starts understanding, recognizing the DNA insert, the recombinant DNA, as its own DNA only, and it cannot differentiate actually, and due to this disturbance it incorporates the recombinant DNA into its own genome, and hence what we have got, we have successfully incorporated the recombinant DNA into the host DNA just by shock treatment. This shock treatment is one type of method, and other methods will be discussed later. So 3 important things I told you in preparing the host. First, we will remove the cell wall and make a